What's up, guys? Back for another video today. We're going to be doing a concert review today. I went ahead and drove out to Lawrence, Kansas by myself and saw Neurosis play with Converge at the Grenada in Lawrence, Kansas. They played with, I think the opening band was called Birds in Row. This concert was crazy. So I get there, doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of people there, but people filed in, especially by the time Converge got up there. The place was packed. Birds in Row was pretty good. I got to give the guys a lot of credit. I think they were a three-piece band. Give the guys a lot of credit for putting on a good show, putting out a lot of music for just having three people up there. Sounded a little bit influenced by hardcore, and that's not really my thing. I mean, they were a cool band. I'm not probably going to buy any of their merch, but they were nice. Good opener. And the guy that was playing lead and singing and screaming and stuff, he sounded like he was a pretty cool dude. So don't really have too many complaints about Birds in a Row as far as a opener. I thought they were pretty decent. So Converge, when they got up there, Converge they made that crowd go crazy. And this is the coolest thing. This is the craziest part about this concert that I went to, is that even though Converge was not the headliner, most of the people that were there at that concert were there to see Converge, and a lot of them were 20-something males, just like me. A lot of them were like all about Converge. They really went just to see Converge. They didn't give a shit about Neurosis or Birds in Row or any of these other bands. And you could definitely tell whenever Converge played, man. First of all, they sounded excellent, but also the people were running up on stage and stage diving, and people were moshing like crazy. People were crowd surfing. The whole place was going fucking nuts, man. And I have to say, the guy for Converge, the lead singer, sort of also, he had a little bit of a straight edge punk aesthetic going on. He was super skinny, with shaved head, all tatted up, sleeveless shirt on, and talking about, yeah, man, let's just be positive and all this stuff. He seemed like a really cool guy, I mean, I'd like to hang out with him, share a few beers with him or whatever. But yeah, Converge, they killed that place, and they played for over an hour. I have to say, this concert that I went to started at about 7:30 and didn't finish until 12:30. There were 3 bands, okay? So every band damn near played a long-ass set. I know for sure Converge played for over an hour. And they caught a lot of energy at the beginning of their set, and I sort of saw it start to wane as the set progressed. And the singer kept moving the microphone down into the audience, giving it to different people, saying, "Hey man, go ahead and sing into the microphone." And people kept trying to rip it away from him. It was so funny. Converge put on a really good show. There was a lot of crowd interaction. People were going nuts. But the coolest thing was, whenever Converge was done, Neurosis was going to come on. You slowly started to see the trickle of all of the 20-something dudes that were so excited to see Converge started to leave the floor, started to leave the pit, and all of the 40, 50-year-old bald males with their fucking Coke bottle glasses and their fucking pocket protector t-shirts or whatever started to make their ways up to the front, man. It was like a total audience shift. Watching that was really funny. But man, when Neurosis came on, they played I can't really say specifically what songs they played, because I've only been listening to them for about a year, and they have a lot of music to go through. I have listened to a lot of their albums. I recognized a lot of the stuff that they were playing, but I couldn't pinpoint what songs they were. But I do know that when they came on, man, it took them a while. Neurosis likes to kind of him and haw a little bit with sort of this atmospheric, droney, sort of softer stuff, like the interludes and the intros and the outros to their songs. But man, once those first few heavy chords hit, holy shit, man. That was the heaviest, loudest fucking show I have seen in a long, long, long time. I can't even remember a show that can compete with that. That was the I don't know what the Grenada did to their sound system, or how they had it calibrated, or what they where they put the levels at for the volume and the bass and the treble, but man, that shit was so fucking loud. Like when you were down on the floor listening to it, it felt like my whole body was gonna disassemble. Like all of my cells, one by one, were gonna reassemble themselves and come off and then come back into place. It was like I was being deconstructed. It was so fucking loud, man. There's no way that I could possibly do it justice with words. Like the only way you could understand it is if you were there. Like I saw one guy like stumble backwards during the first. He was standing on the floor. I saw one guy like stumble backwards and almost fall over. Like the guy didn't have a beer in his hand. He was just standing there. Like for all intents and purposes, when I was looking at him, he looked like he was fine. As I was looking around at everybody, the crowd, before the show started. And when they started playing, it was like he kind of like tremored a little bit, and then he like rocked back on his heels, and he damn near almost fell on his ass. It's the funniest thing, man. It was so goddamn loud. I don't know how I can explain this, but those chords, man, when they were hitting those really heavy chords during a lot of those songs, man, just the primal, like, bassy thud it created in your whole body, man. It was so satisfying. It was like I've said before, it was like your whole body was vibrating, man. I've heard stories of people going to see Sun live. People say that that's an incredible experience, and they talk about how loud it is, and that it's so loud that they can't even talk. And this was probably the loudest show I've ever been to, man. I've never heard anything like that. And I don't know if I ever will again. So that part of me is a little bit sad about it. But what can I say about Neurosis, man? And not only that, but the guys like Scott Kelly, first of all, looked like a mad scientist up there, man. His beard was all white. His hair was white. It was all, puffed out like that. He was just like, he was like frowning at the audience the whole time, and then screaming into the microphone. And then the other front man they had was so into the music, man. Everybody on stage for Neurosis was just like gyrating their bodies, and they were just like so into it, man. You could tell those guys, like, even though this is probably the 50 millionth time they've played those songs live, they still give it like 100% effort and 100% commitment, man. They were so goddamn committed. And I even noticed that the rhythm guitar player had a Neurosis tattoo on his arm, so that's pretty damn cool. It's like the guy is a lifer, and that's what it all felt like that. It felt like those guys were all lifers. Like this is what they chosen to do, and this is what they were going to do, and they were totally 100% committed, and they were going to deliver you the best possible fucking show that they could. And there was no moshing going on whenever Neurosis was playing. Everybody was sort of just like standing there, kind of like receiving the sound, like, holy shit, kind of like vibrations going through the audience, and everybody was like quaking together. It was crazy, man. So I'm not overselling this either. You people that are watching this right now that think that I'm exaggerating, this is not an exaggeration, okay? This was unbelievable. This was the heaviest fucking set, man. The whole night was like that too. It was like Birds in a Row was super fucking loud, and I remember going outside and talking to people and being like, man, didn't that seem a little bit loud to you? Like, what the fuck's going on with that? And people were like, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. It's so loud, though. Other people had never been to a show at the Grenada before, so they didn't know what to expect. And then Converge went on, and I was like, man, yeah, this is so loud right here. I don't know what's going on, but this may be one of the loudest concerts that I've ever heard. And then Neurosis, it seemed like their music was perfectly tailored to that kind of situation. They just came in and they fucking devastated that place, man. Everybody was fucking watching. I feel like Neurosis deserves to be a headliner, and they are a headliner. But I just wish that there had been more genuine fans and supporters of Neurosis there at the concert. It seemed like 75% of the people that were there to see Converge. So it is what it is, but I was super impressed with that show. I'm super glad that I went. And yeah, guys, if you went to that show, you can fucking verify what I'm talking about. That would be great. If you guys have other ideas for videos I could do or other things you'd like me to review or react to, just leave those in the comment section. If you dug the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe below. This is Metal Album Reactions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.